Hey guys, if you're somebody that has something that you sell or offer to people, I think you're really gonna find this video interesting. See, I see so many amazing people with awesome products and services, and some of them that can change lives and really want to do great things in the world, but then so often they're giving their time away for free or for too cheap and not getting their worth. And the thing is that when that happens, it's so hard to build a successful business and impact more people because we're kind of running in a circle trying to help a small number of people and maybe even work another job. See, this video is going to be really crucial if you have something to sell and feel like you're also in that zone. See, a few years ago, my mom started a photo booth business that I helped her get going, and it was fun. She was excited. She was so good at it, and would always get people out of their shell and taking awesome photos and stuff. But then she was always giving her time away for free, and good causes and local groups and charities and different things would come along, and she just had such a big heart and really wanted to serve and would always end up doing it for free. And at the end of the day, since she wasn't really making enough money to keep the business going, it was more of a hobby. And so she was having to work a job and, or full time, and then trying to do this on the side. And, there's nothing wrong with that. But at the same time, I know that there's other people out there that do the exact same business that make money at it. And, it's just my mom's like just got such a big heart and just wants to do good for people. But I see so many people that do this exact thing, and I was also guilty of it at one time. And just people that have something great and either undercharge or just continually give away their time for free because they have a big heart and they really want to help. So I'm going to talk about why this happens and how to change it. Now, first off, this isn't a bad quality. This isn't a bad thing at all. Actually, it usually comes from when people are just have such big, like I keep saying, big hearts, and just really want to serve and not take advantage of people, and not want people to feel kind of uncomfortable about buying and paying and whatever. So I'm going to say a word, and I want you to immediately look at your reaction when I say this word. Okay, wait, what your reaction is when I say this. Sales. I love sales. Could you say that you love sales comfortably without feeling weird? So if you feel some sort of resistance or discomfort, that's worth looking at, because obviously there's a limiting belief or some sort of meaning attached to that word that maybe isn't supporting or serving you in that way, because at the core of any business is sales. And I remember being at an event with a bunch of entrepreneurs, and it was more of like a network marketing kind of group, and I'd been invited there, and the speaker asked who in the room loved sales. I was the only one that put their hand up in the entire room. Seriously, it was crazy. I was like, right? Like it was kind of weird. And at the same time, I was one of the only people in the room with an actual successful, sustainable business and staff and an office. And most of the people in that room were struggling to even keep their businesses alive, and many were working other jobs to pay the bills. So what gives? I looked at that a bunch and I thought, why is this happening? Like, I enjoy sales because I feel like I educate people and I build relationships, and people appreciate all of that from me, and I don't feel slimy or salesy or pushy, and my customers don't feel that way either. And most of them actually come back and choose buying from us over and over and over, even though they could buy from other businesses that are probably just as good and maybe even cheaper than we are. But on top of that, most of them often come back and thank me, and they're so grateful for what we provide. So I realized that the reason I was one of the only people in there that was excited about sales is because I'm one of the only people that studied it. And I'm one of the only people that actually has a sales method and a strategy. And I've been out selling to tens of thousands of transactions with people. I've hired and trained salespeople in my business. And most importantly, I have empowering beliefs about what it means to sell. See, I believe that selling is serving, that we actually serve somebody when we sell them, and that's the time when we serve them most. See, think about it like this. A good salesperson educates their customers, right? So that may sound obvious, or maybe it sounds oblivious, but either way, this is the most important thing for you to get in order to build more relationships with people that could want to buy from you or buy your products in an ethical way. See, I believe sales is about changing the beliefs in your potential customers. See, when you educate someone, you literally shift their thinking. That is the greatest thing that you can ever do for someone, because the moment that you shift someone's beliefs, their life changes. Either they understand their problem differently, or they have a new way of thinking towards something that could improve their life or business or whatever it may be, relationship, anything like that. So either way, when we change the thinking, we take new actions, and when we take new actions, we get new results, right? Does it make sense? So let me give you a couple examples, and this is really going to nail it home. So if I feel like the air quality in my home, for example, isn't very good, and maybe we're always sneezing and coughing or something like that, imagine that someone were to teach me about the filter in my furnace, and this actually happened at one point, and that's why I feel like it's a good example. So imagine somebody taught me that I could get this HEPA filter and put it in my furnace, and that'll improve the air quality, and it'll give us a better sleep, and it'll cut down on potential allergies for us and maybe my daughter, and maybe even give us more energy because our immune system isn't fighting off and dealing with all this stuff that's already in the air. What do you think is going to happen? I'm obviously going to buy one, right? I'm going to be like, oh my God, that solves my problem. Oh, I didn't understand it before. See, that tiny bit of education just changed the way I think about the problem that I was having, which will cause me to do something better. And what I mean is, I'm going to buy an air filter, a better one, because I'm thinking differently, which is now going to create better air in my house and give me a different result. Now, I'm not going to walk away from that and feel sold to. I'm going to walk away and be so grateful for that person for educating me in the way that now I learned that and I understand that. And I'm here to share that with you, and probably the rest of my life, I'm always going to remember that tiny little nugget. So let me give you another one. And I think this could really also nail it home too. So years ago, I was at an event and I saw a booth, and they were promoting those little shoe insoles. And they had a cool little setup where you would step up on this platform and you'd take your shoes off and you'd step onto these things, and they had these little laser beams that would go up your legs that would show the alignment of your ankles, knees, and your hips, right? And then they would have you bend your knees and do a few movements and do some things like that. And they would take a video as you did it with the lasers going on. So after they showed me how when I bent my knees, my knees would actually move inward, right? They wouldn't stay straight. And I'm like, okay, and what does that matter? And he said, well, that movement can cause tightness in your pelvic area, which can lead to a sore lower back. I'm like, oh, I get a sore lower back all the time. And he's like, yeah, and sometimes that can also go up and affect your shoulders too. And I was like, oh, my rotator cuffs, like they bug me sometimes when swimming and stuff. And he's like, yeah, and that's all because you have flat feet, which pulls your legs in and does this and does that and explains the whole thing. And he's like, these insoles will help give you the support so that when you bend your knees, you won't have these issues. Now, later on, I went to somebody and I found really different, custom fitted ones. But at the time, my mind was blown, and I'm like, sign me up. And I built a relationship with, because I trusted them. I was educated. In the end, I was like, think about it. I was so grateful to have bought those insoles. And did I feel sold to? No, I felt served. I was grateful. I was just like, oh my God, this is amazing. And that's good sales. See, educating your potential customers in a way that changes their beliefs and their awareness about their problems or their desires, that you, in your wheelhouse, in your realm, right? So you serve them by changing their beliefs, and then you help them with your product or your service. That's sales. That's what sales really is. And you build relationships. Make sense? So why do so many people not like sales when it's the key thing of a business? See, it's usually because we've had an experience with someone and we felt like a salesperson was kind of pushy. So why would they be pushy? Why would they feel that? And this is something that happens and people don't even know they're doing it. It's promoting or recommending a product or service or whatever it may be without actually knowing or understanding the problem that the person actually has. Now, ironically, many people that think they're uncomfortable with sales are often the ones that are really pushy because they don't know how to sell. So instead of aligning with what their customers need and want, they're recommending and kind of pushing products and services to people that don't really know why they should be buying it. Have you ever had that experience? See, this is why when I train salespeople, the method that we use is the entire thing is a step-by-step process that allows us to better understand our customer and build a long-term relationship, and then charge our worth and solve their problems and build a relationship, right? I think I said relationship twice there, but you know what I mean? Because it's that important. So when you think about your sales strategy, do you even have one? Or do you sometimes come off pushy and maybe make people feel like, you ever have that experience where you're trying to promote or sell your thing and the person's kind of like, and they're not interested, and you're just like, if you just knew how great this thing was, you knew how it could be like so awesome for you, and it could change your life, and it could help you out, and it could fix your problem, and you're just sort of like so wound up, and your heart's in the right place, and you really want to give it to them, but at the end of the day, they don't buy it, and you're frustrated, and you're just like, if they just knew how great it is. But what's missing is that you have to know how to attach it to what's really going on in their world. And the way to do that is you have to have a script. So when you know how to do this right, you can charge anything you want, right? Like, think about me with those insoles. I was ready to pay anything. See, I'm not saying rip people off, but I believe that we should be able to charge our worth, right? And we should be able to, the more that we make from something, the more that we can put into the business, or into over delivering, or into hiring, or marketing to attract more people, or creating the freedom we deserve, or getting the stress off, or quitting our jobs so we can do our thing full time. And I just feel pulled after having spent so many years, like 12 and a half years now, building a business and learning all this stuff and struggling super hard and overcoming it, to support and share this with others. So I created a program called CEO of Your Destiny, and this is just one of the small things that we're going to cover. And I say small because there's so many other things in it. So not only is it important to learn how to sell through serving, but we also have to know how to identify our audience, and we have to know how to speak at a level of pain points and desires, and make it emotional, and create a marketing plan around that, and then on top of it, continually take action, and then get over procrastinating and doing the things that we know how to do. So I'm looking for people that want to do good in the world, that want to make impact, that want to really share something with others, and could use some help building it, some guidance, a community of people that are thinking the same way to help you create the plan around it, and also inspire and push and support you to keep going for it. So if that's you, I'd love to have you join my group, send a message. Otherwise, even just let me know what you learned from this. What's your takeaway? Do you feel like you're somebody that's either not had a sales strategy, or are you somebody that's been kind of pushy with your sales, or where do you fall in? Do you often give your time away for free? Do you feel like you're undercharging? So I'd love to hear from you. Comment wherever, and share this with anybody that needs to hear it. And then if you're interested in signing up, let me know. I'd love to have you in the group.